Happy Self Love Sunday. I am Mo Sass, your host of Self Love Sundays with Sass. I am your certified vision and empowerment and extreme execution coach who comes every single Sunday so we can talk about all the ways in which you can better your best. And this year, I really want you to focus on transformation. Okay? And so, first of all, happy 2023. I cannot believe that 1993 was 30 years ago. Okay? I don't know about you. But if you are somewhere in the 40s, it's like, how did this happen? And it's a blessing to be here. I really hope that you enjoyed your new year, bringing it in. And today we're going to talk about something that I spoke about last year, but I really want to dive into it today and want to change it up a little bit. Last year, I told you that I want you to divorce your story. Today, I'm going to tell you I need you to kill, release into the atmosphere, burn it up. The story, because I realized that if you divorce something, hey, listen, I know some people that got divorced and went back and married the same person, right? I don't want, so I'm, listen, I need you to kill the story. And here's why. I was reading the Bloomberg report, and let me preface this by saying this. When I come here, this is for everyone. I love everyone. This is not to exclude anyone. And today I'm going to specifically dive in a little bit deeper on my community. And here's why. I was reading a Bloomberg report and they talked about the wealth gap between the African American community and the Caucasian community is 3 to 1. And I want to preface that by saying, and you think I want to hear your story? And you think that I want to hear your story. And here's what I mean, because I know that can sound a little harsh. I'm a Jersey girl. It can come off a little harsh. But here's the thing. I'm in the coaching space and I'm in many different communities. And all I hear is the story of why I'm not living and or creating my vision. It's my children. I have this. I have that going on. Someone died. All of these things that I know that it's hard to hear, but it's so true. It's life. Life is lifing. And so people are holding on to their stories of why they cannot create a vision or walk in the vision that is for their life, that they were born to do. It's my job, it's my children, and it's like you are so attached to the story that you're not seeing that these are the very things that are holding you back. And I get it, it's real. You know, my son being murdered was real for me and my family. Being able to create a business, 2 businesses, and still be in corporate America for well over 2 decades, it's real. Being a mom of 5 living children, it's real. It's real. And I realized that life is going to continue to happen. So I can't hold on to those stories, especially when those stories are holding me back. And I understand also that there are many nuances to the wealth gap. Please don't get this twisted because I know that I'm speaking to a large audience. I know that there are many variants, but I'm here to talk specifically about what you can do about it, and you can kill that story. I'm talking to you today not from just a coach perspective of someone who, teaches and guides people. I'm speaking to you for someone who has done it. 322 a month welfare mother. I've done it. And I know that I had to kill the story in order to create the woman that you see today. Now, granted, when I say create, everything was already within me. I just utilized my resources to help bring it out of me. And so when I speak about resources, I'm talking about the fact that I had to pay to get into different communities. I had to pay for coaches. I even had to pay mentors. I found, listen, before I could pay, I did a lot of free things until then, but there was a point where I had to say, listen, I really got to start investing in me more to get to that next level of the thing I know that I'm able to do, I'm able to have, I'm able to be. Because I do believe that you can be, do, or have anything you want in this world, but it starts with you saying, I am no longer going to hold on to the story. Even if that means I have to get with my schedule and I have to wake up an hour early or stay up an hour late or do something differently on my lunchtime or ask for help, because that is the very thing that I see that holds my community back. Yes, I had to pause because you have to be able to ask for help. No one can read your mind. I know we think that our spouses can read our mind. I know that we think that our friends can read our mind, but the truth of the matter is they can't. Because every time we elevate, every time we escalate, guess what? There's a newer version of us that they may not know. So we have to be able to effectively communicate in order to get the things that we need in this world. No one is going to come and hand it to you. And I know I'm starting this year off strong, but I'm telling you, I am watching my people drown in the storm instead of understanding that that we need the water to live. Every time that storm comes, we can go to the next level of our life if we just understand that sometimes we need that water to take us to the next level. Don't allow ourselves to drown in it. That when the rain finishes, guess what? It has watered us to grow to another level. If we take the lesson from it and don't allow it to drown us. Every time something happens and life starts to life, we can absolutely take a learning lesson from it of what not to do next time, how we can better prepare, and what has shaped us to that can help us to where we're going. I'm going to slow down a little bit because I realize I'm coming in hot, but I'm coming in hot because I understand something. I understand that you absolutely can build off that story and use it as a foundation to actually, fill in some of those gaps and cracks and then allow it to take us to the next level if we make that decision. When I come here and speak, something that I understand, that it's not new information. I'm just saying it differently. You may be able to hear it differently. If it was information that could take us to the next level, we would all be faster, stronger, enlightened, and wealthier. It's not that. It's the decision. It is decision that we decide to make every single day. It's every single day you asking yourself, what is it that I can do today differently that's going to help lead me closer to the vision or the person that I can see myself becoming? It is sitting down and saying, I'm going to write out the vision and make it so plain that people can help me because they understand what I need. It's a decision every single day. But you know something? I was talking to somebody the other day and we were talking about social media and he said something like, I was posting and I realized that, after a while, it wasn't doing anything and people weren't liking it and, it wasn't bringing me business. So I stopped. And it made me laugh because this is what people do. They quit right before the breakthrough is going to happen. And here's the thing. There's been times I have received, calls or emails from people that haven't liked the post. Just because it's not visible doesn't mean it's not there. That's why you have this is why God gave us vision so that we can see beyond our present circumstance. And this is why so many people have sight, but they lack vision because they can only see what's right around them. But that's not what vision is. It's being able to understand and see beyond what's happening right around us. And it's having faith and belief that it's going to come. But the thing is, when we don't see immediate microwave popcorn society results, we quit. Never understanding that the reason why we do that is because we're comparing ourselves to the people that we see around us, not understanding that they've been doing this over a decade. And that's why it looks immediate when it's not. They've been behind the scenes grinding and working. And so it's like, oh my God, they show up and all of a sudden they're making $450,000. Well, guess what? They've been grinding and working behind the scenes for the past 5 years. And so now you see the fruits of that labor and you see them in their winning season because they've been in their harvesting season all this time. But you don't want to get into that season. You don't want to plant the seeds and continue to water and continue to till the soil so that you can benefit from the fruit. You just want the fruit. That's not how this works. I didn't see a lot of things, even in being in corporate America, until after the first decade. It is what it is. And the thing is, we have to understand that it's not in our timing. It's in God's timing. But here's the thing, until the time comes, you have to burn, kill, release into the atmosphere all of the story of the things that keep you in lack. It keeps you behind the 8 ball. Well, I have, the kids and I have to pick it up, and I'm a single mother, and I'm a single dad, or I have a family, I'm a father. And so it's like, listen, I get it, I hear it. But how was it that the same person that had your same story, same circumstances, was able to come out of it and create success for themselves, and you're still sitting in the story? How is that possible? Because you listen to it and be like, oh, somebody must have did something. Oh, they must have had help. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not the truth. That's what you tell yourself to keep yourself in the story. We got to be honest with ourselves. And so here's the thing. I know I've given you a lot, but I'm going to back up. And I'm going to tell you some ways that you can finally kill the story that's holding you back. And you keep talking about it over and over again. I'm going to tell you something. I do not talk about the story of my son Steph's, me being a welfare mother, me being divorced, unless it's a testimony. Period. Unless it's a testimony. Because I don't need to say it over and over again for people to feel sorry for me. There's nothing to feel sorry for. I am greater today. In spite of. So ask yourself, why are you telling the story over and over again? Why are you talking about your ex over and over again? Why are you living in the lack over and over again? Why are you talking about the fact that, because of my kids and this and that over, as if, but my thing is using them as an excuse over and over again. So the number one thing I need you to do is self-assess. What's holding you back? Write a list. What is the story that you repeat over and over again? When someone asks you the question of, why are you living the dream? Why are you still surviving instead of thriving? Why are you not where you want to be? I want you to, what is the answer to that? How do you answer that question? Self-assess. You have to know where you are. You have to know how you're thinking. You have to know how you're showing up in order for you to know what the next move is so that you can do something differently. Okay? That's number one. Number two, get help. Because sometimes in our self-assessment, we can't see our blind spots. We can't see the things in the story, because there's nothing wrong with it if it's a testimony, right? What are the things in the story that are holding us back? Get help. Why are you not asking for help? Oh, because that's a part of the story. Because when I asked for help from this person, they didn't do this and that. How about you may have been asking the wrong person? And the other part to that is, you know what? Because people do this to me all the time. I'm a coach, this is my business, and they'll come and say, hey, can you meet with me? And a lot of times it's for free. And here's the thing. I don't mind sometimes doing that. But I'm going to say to you, when will you decide to invest in yourself? And when will you understand that everybody's not obligated to give you the free? And here's the other thing. Most of us are doing this for free, but you want more free. And here's the thing. I'm going to ask you, have you taken action off the free you've already received? And be honest. Because we'll give you the blueprint. I got the blueprint from Dr. Miles Monroe. Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher, Keon Henderson on a spiritual level, Myron Golden, Jim Rohn, like literally Les Brown for free. Took action on that until I got to the point where I was like, okay, they give general information. Now I need it more directed towards me. I need this to really fit me, my everyday. So then I started paying. So you have to ask yourself that. Get help. Get in a community of like-minded people, accountability partners, and not somebody who's going to say, oh, okay, it's okay that you missed it today. No, somebody's going to say, okay, well, you missed it today, so how are you going to, what's the penalty? What's the penalty for the miss? Because if I keep allowing you to miss it with no penalty, guess what you're going to keep doing? Letting that be a habit of missing. I paid a penalty. If I have goals, right? My goals, and we talked about this last year, how to create goals. If you haven't If you missed that video, please go back and listen to it. So I break it down by quarter, and then I break it down what I'm going to do every day to make sure that I meet it. If I miss that goal, I'm doing 25 push-ups and 25 squats, or sometimes 50 push-ups. I owe it to my accountability partner every day. I chose them because guess what? I do not like doing no push-ups. So I chose a penalty I'm not going to like to do. So listen, if I don't like to do something, I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, right? Because I'm human. There may be some days you're going to miss. You're human. But again, you have to get a system around you that's going to make sure that you win. All right? So I said, number 1, self-assess. Number 2, get help. Number 3, let your vision guide you and not your emotions, because most of us are emotional creatures, running around here just reacting all over the place instead of being proactive. Emotional intelligence is everything. Emotional intelligence is everything. I don't feel like doing a lot of things. Listen, when I wrote my book, Finding Your Way, there were days that I cried. There were days when I was like, I don't want to do it. There were days when I was like, I don't want to tell this story. There were so many things that happened in the midst of the book. And guess what? I let my vision of me saying that I was going to be an author one day guide me instead of my emotions. Because emotions are a roller coaster. Again, in the midst of the storm, all we see is the rain, never realizing that we need the water to help us grow. And that on the other side, when it all dries up, there's going to be a beautiful rainbow. And I'm speaking that because I'm holding it in my hand, y'all. And I don't like to speak about me when I do these videos because I'm watching the community of people that I coach do the same exact thing. I'm watching someone I started coaching back in, was it 2021? She's now, flourishing as a photographer. Didn't even know that was her purpose. Came to me with nothing. I wanted someone who was in a depressed state. I'm talking clinically depressed, with no hope, tell me how hopeful she is that she is going to be married with children. Like this is something that I'm not just talking about me. I'm seeing it happen and play out. Okay? So again, number 1, self-assess. Number 2, get help. Number 3, let your vision guide you and not your emotions. And I'm going to tell you last but not least, stop quitting before you get to the finish line. Vision comes in phases and it takes time. And so when I talk about time, I am not talking about your microwave popcorn society comparing it against somebody else's lifetime. I'm talking about the time that it takes for God to develop you to get there, and it's his timing. And a lot of times we think that we're ready and we're not. And I'm telling you one thing for certain, I'd rather show up to the party a little bit later than earlier and not be prepared. I said it. Stop quitting and let 2023 be the year that you put on your blinders. And when I think about blinders, we're talking about the horse races, right? I used to watch horse races back in the day, and I betted. I'm not going to lie, a time or two, okay? I told you I come here and tell the truth to the people. I betted a time or two. And the one thing that you hear the jockeys talk about is they would put blinders on their horses so they would stay focused and in their lane. Get off social media looking at those people, because that's why you think that you can't achieve your goal, because you're looking at them. And it's funny because people are like, well, these 24, 25 years old, they're millionaires. They should be. Because if they took the lessons and they learned from the 40 plus year olds, and you're supposed to cheer them on. I want my kids to be millionaires quicker than I was because I didn't get it. I didn't even have the mindset. Yes, 100%. But it's not for me to look at them and say, oh, they're millionaires, so it's too late for me. No, it's to look at them and say, listen, it's not too late. What did they do? 9 times out of 10, they're not attached to the stories we're attached to. Follow me. They said, I'm not going to spend 2 decades in a career that I can't stand. They're supposed to do it. So cheer them on. Be happy, because that's another thing. You're not even happy for someone else's success. When I see other coaches, listen, I share other coaches on my page. I talk to other coaches. We get together. Why? Because if you understand, and I just did a collab yesterday, a speaking collab for a free workshop, which here's the thing, it was so crazy. A free workshop and only 40 something people showed up to. And it's taught me the lesson over and over again. People don't value free. And they always say, hey, I want help. I want you. No, you don't. You just want to sit and talk. It's the truth. Because when people show up, you don't show up. And I get things happen in life. And I'm not saying that you're supposed to show up to my thing, but I'm watching this play out over and over again because I'm in a community of people who do this for a living. Okay? So I just did it yesterday where we collabed. And it was amazing. If you missed it, sorry, hate it for you. It was amazing. But people rather compete, sit in the room by themselves and don't ask for help, and then don't understand why they're not where you can only take yourself but so far. But you're attached to the story of why we can't collaborate. And you're attached to the story of people, oh, black women, can't work together, or black people can't do this, and black people, and and here's the thing that's so dope about where I sit now. I'm in the room full of black people who are collabing, loving on one another, helping one another like it's nothing. And guess what? They're saying, you know what? I'm going to pay for you to coach me. And guess what I'm saying? I'm going to pay for you to coach me. I'm in the community seeing it happen, but you rather be attached to a story of something happening to somebody else 10 years ago, or something somebody's saying, or something somebody's saying on social media, not even realizing it's created to keep us divided. And you're running with the story. And then you wonder why. If I allowed the stories of things that happened to me in the past, from past relationships to past friendships, guide me, I would not be where I am today. And that means I would not be a coach. I would not be a certified coach, because everybody think they could be a coach. They're like, oh, I want to be a coach because, people, like the advice I give. Coaches don't even give advice. This is why you need to go study the thing that you want to become. Okay? Get around those people. Coaches don't give advice, right? I would not be an author today. Guess who helped me become that? That community of those African American people that they tell you time and time again don't exist. They'll tell you time and time again don't exist. Oh, we exist and we're thriving over here. Come join us. Come join us. And if you have any questions, or you need help, or looking for a coach, again, if you've watched some of my videos and you got into action and you say, hey, Mo, I need something else, reach out to me. But if you haven't even taken action on the free, I want you to think about that. Okay? But if you need me, info@mosass.com, MOESASS.com. That's my email. If you know you're ready to set up a consultation, www.mosass.com. And if you decide to go with me as a coach, whatever you pay for the consultation goes towards your coaching package. Just want you to know that. Also on my website, you can also pre-order my book, Finding Your Way, 7 Ways to Love and Heal Yourself. Because here's the thing, this is how you're going to divorce your story. It's called healing, people. It's called help. It's called using the information, right? And not just let it be for the free, but get into action. It's $19.99, okay? So if you say you can't afford the coaching, guess what? You can afford the book. How do I know? I was a $322 a month welfare mother who still bought $100 Calvin Klein shoes. And now, no, I'm not bragging, and no, I don't think it was the best thing to do. Had I took that $100 back then and invested in myself, I probably would be much further. So here's the thing, learn from me. That part. All right? I hope that you have the most amazing, amazing week, and I will talk to you next Sunday.